Look at the dark brown water. Imagine floating on a massive, muddy river that is so incredibly wide you cannot see the trees on the other side. You look up at the sky, and you see a thick canopy of emerald green leaves blocking the bright yellow sun. You feel the heavy, suffocating tropical humidity pressing against your wet skin. You hear the loud, screeching calls of colorful red and blue macaw parrots flying high above the tall trees. You hear the deep, terrifying roar of a wild jaguar hidden in the dark green bushes. Welcome to the largest, wildest, and most dangerous rainforest on planet Earth. Welcome to the deep Amazon basin of South America. For wealthy tourists, the Amazon jungle is a quick boat ride to take digital photos of pink river dolphins and green sloths. But for the local indigenous tribes and the ribeirinhos, the traditional river people of Brazil and Peru, this dense, muddy jungle is their permanent home. To understand how human beings survive in this extreme, flooded environment, you must completely forget about modern transportation. There are absolutely no paved gray highways here. There are no fast metal trains. There are no concrete sidewalks. The dark brown Amazon River and its thousands of winding, narrow water channels is the only road. If you visit a local river village, you will see exactly how people travel. A rugged, sun-tanned local man walks down a muddy wooden staircase. He steps into a long, narrow wooden canoe. He pulls a thick rope to start a loud, smoky, rusted metal outboard motor. The small wooden boat pushes through thick green water lilies and floating brown branches. This wooden canoe is his car, his truck, and his lifeline. Without a working boat, you are completely trapped in the dense green jungle. You cannot go to the wooden medical clinic. You cannot buy white rice from the floating grocery store. But traveling on this muddy brown river is incredibly dangerous. If you look closely at the muddy riverbanks, you will see giant, dark green caiman crocodiles resting in the hot sun. You will see thick, heavy anaconda snakes wrapping around wet tree branches. The water hides terrifying predators. But the river also provides the absolute foundation of human survival. Because in the deep Amazon, it is incredibly difficult to grow large green vegetable farms. The heavy, violent tropical rainstorms constantly wash the topsoil away. So the people here look to the muddy water for their daily food. And the fish they pull out of this river are absolute monsters. If you walk into a wooden stilt house floating on the river, you will see a massive, primitive hunting operation. A strong, barefoot local fisherman stands on the front of his wooden canoe. He holds a long, sharp wooden spear with a metal tip. He stares intensely into the murky brown water. Suddenly, he throws the heavy spear with incredible force. He pulls a massive, terrifying fish into the boat. It is the pirarucu, also known as the arapaima. It is one of the largest freshwater fish in the entire world. A single pirarucu fish can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh over 400 pounds. It has thick, heavy gray scales that look like ancient dinosaur armor. The fisherman uses a heavy, sharp metal machete to chop the massive block of white fish meat. He cooks the fresh fish over a hot, smoking wood fire built inside an old metal oil drum. He serves the steaming white fish with a thick yellow paste made from the cassava root. This simple, heavy meal of river fish and yellow cassava flour gives the river people the massive calories they need to row heavy wooden boats and swing heavy metal machetes all day long in the boiling tropical heat. But the river is not always a generous provider. Sometimes the river becomes a violent, unstoppable destroyer. To live in the Amazon means you must constantly adapt to the extreme changing seasons. During the dry season, the bright sun cracks the muddy riverbed. But when the heavy tropical monsoon rains arrive in January, Millions of gallons of fresh water pour down from the high Andes Mountains. The water level of the Brown River rises dramatically. It can rise more than 40 feet in just a few weeks. The dark river completely floods the green forest floor. Because of this terrifying, massive flood, the architecture of the Amazon is totally unique. You will not see houses built directly on the dirt. Every single house, every small wooden school, and every local grocery shop is built high up in the air on thick, heavy wooden stilts. When the massive floodwaters arrive, the muddy brown water rises right up to the wooden floorboards of the houses. The local people must tie their small wooden canoes directly to their front door. If they drop a metal spoon or a plastic cup off their wooden porch, it sinks immediately into the deep, dark, flooded jungle below. This extreme watery lifestyle creates a deeply isolated and difficult existence. There is no stable electrical grid out here in the deep jungle. When the sun sets behind the tall palm trees, the jungle turns completely, terrifyingly dark. The local families rely on small, loud gasoline generators to produce a few hours of yellow electric light. Some families use small blue solar panels to charge a single glowing smartphone or a small radio. But when the gasoline runs out, they light dripping wax candles and old metal kerosene lanterns. In the dark night, the noise of the jungle is incredibly loud. Millions of buzzing insects, croaking green frogs, and screeching monkeys create a deafening natural symphony. You are completely, totally surrounded by wild, untamed nature. Because of this intense isolation, the people of the river rely heavily on ancient natural medicine. If a young child gets a high fever, or a fisherman cuts his leg with a sharp machete, there is no modern hospital to visit. An older, wrinkled indigenous woman walks into the thick green jungle. She uses a sharp knife to cut the thick brown bark off a specific tree. She picks bright red and purple flowers. She boils these green leaves and roots in a hot black iron pot to create a bitter, dark, medicinal tea. The jungle is their grocery store, and it is also their pharmacy. But today, this ancient, isolated way of life is facing a brutal, terrifying threat. The modern world is bringing heavy metal machines into the sacred green forest. If you fly a helicopter high above the green canopy, you will see massive, ugly brown scars cutting through the beautiful trees. Giant yellow bulldozers and loud metal chainsaws are cutting down thousands of ancient, towering trees every single day. Massive global corporations are burning the green forest to clear flat land for millions of white cows and to plant massive fields of green soybeans. Illegal gold miners bring heavy metal dredges to the rivers, pumping toxic gray liquid mercury into the water to extract shiny yellow gold. This toxic chemical poisons the giant pirarucu fish and sickens the local people who eat the meat. The beautiful, loud, vibrant jungle is slowly turning to quiet gray ash. For the young teenagers living in the remote wooden stilt houses, the future is incredibly uncertain. They hold modern smartphones connected to weak satellite internet. They watch bright digital videos of the massive, crowded concrete cities like Manaus and Rio de Janeiro. They see fast cars, modern hospitals, and comfortable air-conditioned buildings. Many young people decide to pack their small bags. They step onto a crowded passenger ferry boat, leaving the quiet green jungle behind to seek a modern life in the noisy city. The older generation sits on their wooden porches, watching the brown river flow by, wondering who will hunt the giant fish when they are gone. But despite the heavy chainsaws, the toxic gold mines, and the massive floods, the spirit of the Amazon River people is incredibly strong. They are the ultimate survivors of the green labyrinth. To live in the deep Amazon is to accept that human beings are very, very small. You cannot control the massive brown river. You cannot fight the heavy tropical rain. You cannot stop the wild jaguar. You must respect the raw, violent, beautiful power of the jungle. And as a local fisherman rows his wooden canoe silently through the flooded green trees, bathed in the golden light of the setting sun, you realize that this massive, breathing forest is the true lungs of our planet. And the people who live here are its very heart.